As a national nonprofit, the Alliance for Digital Equality is a coalition of dedicated individuals assuring that Americans have equal access to this cutting-edge technology, product, and services, regardless of race, ethnicity, or income. And
the next administration in Washington, regardless of whether it's a Democrat or Republican, will have to make some crucial decisions about how we operate on this superhighway. And what this 501c3 does is give African Americans and Hispanics an opportunity to have a seat at the table when major public policy issues that impact every aspect of our lives will be decided. You know,
our slogan is about empowering people of color, African Americans and Hispanics. Our slogan is empowering communities across the digital divide. And the reason that we chose that theme was based on the fact that when you look at the digital revolution, what's occurring globally, it is a global economic paradigm that's going to change every fabric of how we live in this community. In Detroit, how we live in Atlanta, Miami, etc. It will have an impact on our interpersonal relationships with each other, an impact on our ability to communicate with each other. It will empower each of us over the years to come. It will translate in the next 3 years to a $500 billion economic impact globally, creating nearly 3 million jobs. And that's why I'm so passionate about having established this organization.
You know, technology is a part of how you determine whether or not a business fails or succeeds. It will determine healthcare issues, public safety issues. Virtually every endeavor of public policy will be determined to a great extent by who has access to the superhighway. Now, initially, when the internet came in our lives, it was so inexpensive, this was not an issue. But eventually, the issue is going to be access based on affordability. Because Detroit is the Motor City, the automobile capital of the United States, it's so important that people here understand we're moving into a new phase of technology. And this technology is right here. It's already accessible and available.
The Alliance for Digital Empowerment is a very important organization for the African American community. Although it's been founded relatively recently in 2007, the need for the African American community to have access to gain the information, to share the information, and the knowledge that is able to be found utilizing the internet via broadband is critical to our continued growth and participation in being full citizens in this community. The Alliance is committed to assuring that African American consumers are able to have access to all of the benefits that broadband brings when it comes into your home.
I must say I'm indeed honored to be a part of this initiative, predominantly because I believe I have a 17-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter, and there is nothing more important to me than their education and their success. I tell them every day, my success means nothing if you don't succeed. My life is built upon you succeeding. And my son can work the computer and do the internet and do the games much faster than I can because that's his generation. And my generation was being outside playing kickball. The purpose in all of those organizations is to make sure that we get digital empowerment to the communities. The importance is that we know that that's not only the wave of the future, that's the wave of now. That's what's occurring now. In order for patients to get health care, for instance, there is a new environment where e-health is being promoted to help patients to get information about what their disease process is and to help to maintain their general health. It's an important area for public health, for instance, where it's important. But the same is the case in civic organizations and getting information out about where you can vote, how voting is changing. And, people who don't have access will not have the opportunities in the future. So our goal is to make sure that everyone has equal access.
Or, broadband, access to broadband is very important because it opens the doors for especially minority communities to improved education, improved access to quality health care, improved economic empowerment and political empowerment, and even access to better entertainment. So it's the access to broadband is very important for all of our communities. Now, Hispanics in particular have been joining the broadband revolution. Recently we've seen that their numbers have increased, that the number of English-speaking Hispanics has grown to the point where that it's almost equal with the non-Hispanic whites in terms of the number of people who are signing up for broadband. But we still have a digital divide.
You have heard today that part of the promise of broadband is what it will do for our young people and our children in terms of education. And that indeed is a very important aspect of what broadband will be about. Distance learning, distance education, scholars from throughout the world, master teachers, wherever they may be. Our young people now will be able to have access to them. And through broadband, we are also going to be able to close the achievement gap because we will be able to provide 24/7 educational content and opportunities to our young people, hopefully someday in the confines and in the safety and the security of their homes.